Something remarkably hard to take for autistics is that our specificity is actually a hindrance to our communication. I'm Sol Smith. I'm the author of The Autistic's Guide to Self-Discovery, and I find it fascinating that we can be so careful and specific with our language and have it backfire at us in some sort of weird, sideways, backwards misunderstanding. Let's look at two different contexts. One is if you were explaining something to somebody about why something happened. For example, I was late to work. My impulse is to be very specific. My kid couldn't find their shoes. We got going, but the other kid missed the bus, so we had to take them to school. I got stuck behind the train. This kind of thing doesn't happen every day. I'm really sorry. But just saying, I'm sorry, won't happen again, is met with less suspicion, more trust, and better understanding than if I am to explain it. Explaining, giving details, feels somehow dishonest, feels like I'm fabricating things or excusing myself, despite the fact that it started with an apology and ended with an apology. It's wild. Even more detrimental is in an argument. You've had a very specific complaint, and you're very careful to make this complaint specific and targeted so that they don't feel like you are complaining about them. You're complaining about a situation and how it was handled. Hey, just so you know, I noticed that you said A, and I really wanted B. This keeps happening. I just think it's a pattern that, you're looking for one thing and I'm looking for another, and I think that we need to probably talk about this. And their attitude can be something like, I am sorry that I bother you so much. I'm sorry that you don't like my opinions. I'm sorry you think I'm terrible. This is really just something specific, just one sort of feedback that you want to give, not even necessarily about being upset so much as, hey, I want to bring this to your attention. Let's see what we can do here. But that very specificity makes them feel as if you're picking the flesh off their bones, as if you're picking them apart, looking back at different events and holding them accountable. But instead, a neurotypical is much more likely to say, you are such a jerk, I can't believe we ever started hanging out. And then later say, I didn't mean that, I was just emotional. That the emotional content becomes more important than the rational content. This doesn't mean we need to change how we communicate. This doesn't mean we need to be less specific. This means we need to be aware of the footprints that we leave in different people's minds.